Welcome to Pluhari's Peace and the fourth podcast called Beginnings. I'm Lillian, and it is so good to be with you today for this new day. Our time together has the title Beginnings because no matter what our individual religious or political or spiritual or racial beliefs and belongings are or are not, as human beings, we all have our beginnings through our parents. After birth, we have other beginnings through the use of our free will and the actions we take, or just as importantly, the actions we do not take. We are responsible for ourselves, which means we are responsible for using our beginnings wisely. Especially, of course, the beginnings through our parents. It is crucial and makes all the difference in our world for how we treat ourselves and others. So, what does that mean for you and me? Yes, me, and yes, you. No matter what the circumstances of your birth, you have two biological parents, and right after birth, the parents that raise you may be your biological parents or not. For example, they could be adoptive parents. They could be teachers that raise you in an orphanage, or any persons that show up in your life to raise you while you are young and vulnerable. Each person has their own unique circumstance of birth and their own unique set of parents that raised them. For sure, you have yours and I have mine. So since you have your beginnings here with parents, and they are your beginning, your platform, so to speak, let's begin by looking at parents. And we will do this first by understanding the origin of the word parents and what it means. Then we will do an exercise in which you practice seeing your parents. Whether they are alive or not is not relevant to this exercise. In you, they are alive. How do we know that? You have a body and memory. The word parent comes from the Latin parire, which means to bring forth, give birth, produce. The scientific definition of parent is a caregiver of the offspring in their own species and a first-degree relative. The general definition of parent is a person who brings up and cares for another. Now, all of these are fascinating in their implications, for we have huge concepts here. To give forth and produce, and then in their own species, and then first-degree relative, and then to bring up and care for. Each of these four concepts imply an agreement or a commitment of sorts, a previous intent to participate in a life cycle together in some way, in some time, no matter how big or small. We will begin with an exercise that involves your two parents. If you grew up with your biological parents, that is who you will focus on. If you grew up with adoptive parents and they raised you, that is who you will focus on. If you grew up with neither biological parents nor adoptive parents, you can focus on the two persons that looked out for you and cared for you in some form while you were young and not able to take care of yourself yet. This exercise can be done whether your parents have passed on or not, whether they are alive or not. Either way, they are present in you because you have a body and memory. If you were abused by a parent or are still being abused by them, this exercise needs to be done with a professional counselor that is right for you and whom you can trust. I am not that counselor. We will relax into this exercise now. Respectful pauses will be given so you can explore your parents to the degree that you choose to. Let's just settle in and get comfortable. Let your shoulders drop easily. Let your jaw relax. All right, we will begin our exercise now. Take a deep breath. Again. Just be aware. Doesn't matter how you do it. Good. Keep breathing until you settle into your own energy. Your own identity. Your own name as given at birth. There you are. Be within yourself. Now think of your parents. They are easily within you. You have a body and memory. Feel your body as it is breathing and relaxing. Your parents are safely within you because you are in your own body, and the image of your parents that you choose to view is entirely in your control. Just pick one mental image that you can relax with best. Now, without hurrying, bring your Father to you. You have chosen your image of Him. There is no need to hold back or be fearful, no matter what your Father was like or is like. He is before you by your invitation now. So now, when your Father is in front of you, just think, I see you. Take your time, no hurry. I see you. All right. Without urgency, bring your mother to you. You have chosen the image of her that you want to be with. There is no need to deny her, or for you to hold back, or be fearful. No matter what your mother was or is like. Good. You are set now. You invited her before you of your own free will. Now think, when your mother is in front of you, think, I see you. Take a few moments and just see her. I see you. Now that you have seen both parents, release 2 deep breaths. One for your mother, one for your father. This ends our exercise for now. Ask yourself, why did we do this exercise? What good can it do for me to let my parents know I see them? And once I have seen them, so what? And And if I don't want to give that seeing, what are the consequences? Take a moment to reflect on yourself and how you are in life at this time, and what all this might mean for you in terms of healing your life. So, now you are ready to ask 5 questions. If you need something to write with, you can pause the podcast here for just a moment. You may want to jot down a word or two. Take your time. Let's not speed through this construction zone. I'll give a moment for you to get something to write with. All right, first question. Why this set of parents? Why not another? Just put down a word or two. Question 2. Who and how were they? What was their unique way of being? What was Mom's unique way of being? What was Dad's unique way of being? Just a word or two for each one of them. Question 3. What choices did they make in life? Mom's choices, Dad's choices. Question 4. What was their legacy? What was your mother's legacy? What was your father's legacy? Just a word or two. And the 5th question, who and how are you? What is your unique way of being? We won't explore what your legacy is yet. Rather, we will explore the parental platform and Mom and Dad's legacy first, and how you can utilize it to your greatest benefit. To do that, we will look at old holdovers inside of you, which we can simply call the I should statements in your mind at this time in your life. I should. All right, here goes. For sure, you internalized those I should statements from somewhere, and for sure your parents are the first models of how to make choices in life and how to be. You learn their perspective and way of being, and you internalize them by accepting or rejecting them, and by becoming attached to them or not. This attachment can be subconscious, which means not consciously seen, or conscious, which means you think you know your parent as they really are and were, without any possible misperceptions on your part. Ooh, that would be a tall order to fill. It would mean that I, or you, as a child, completely knew who the parents were and what you were looking at as you observed them, that you knew all of their motives and experiences. That's not probable. Likely you have in you a combination of the two, of both conscious and subconscious perceptions and misperceptions of your parents. We do not want to overanalyze our parents or ourselves or the history we had with them. That could bind you in a never-ending searching. The direction we want to take is up. More peace, more fulfillment, more alignment with who you are now and how you are, and why you are here on earth at this time, and how you will create your own unique legacy. The statements in you that say or nag, I should, you should, or scream, you should. I should do fill in the blank. Those are holdovers from mom and dad. These voices are what you thought you perceived in your growing up years as you lived and interacted with these first teachers of reality that you encountered. Mom and dad or their placeholders are your first teachers and teachings. I could say this differently. As a child and later as a teen, you see mom and dad making their choices and being in their own way about life, and you mimic them knowingly or unknowingly as you say to yourself, this is how mom and dad are doing this in this particular situation. I will put that in my filing cabinet just in case I need it in the future so that I can be safe to know what to do or not to do. Or at least I will feel comfortable because their way of doing things feels familiar. And the filing cabinet collects more and more files over time and does not get cleaned out. Then, later in life, you come upon a situation that somehow reminds you of what you observed mom and dad choosing at the time stamp in your memory file. And then you react to it. This sets you on a trajectory and is not of your own choosing. The problem is, here you are 1 year or 20 or 50 or 80 years later, and nothing is the same. And most importantly, you are not mom. You are not dad. You are you. And this is now. And you have your own unique identity and purpose and legacy. In fact, you are a living, breathing, walking legacy right here, right now. You are being yourself and doing your life, not theirs. So now we are going to take the harshness out of the way that we speak to ourselves. And we will do so by giving ourselves new words to shift our perspective to a more workable fit. What does that mean? A workable fit means it is right for you and allows you to be true to yourself. All right, now we are ready for exercise 2, which we will call letting go. Take a piece of paper and write on the top, I should. Number 1 to 5, leaving space in between each. Now write 5 different ways to finish the sentence that begins with I should. We will take a pause for this. So on number 1 it says I should, and you fill in the blank what you think you should be doing or do. You will write down 5 I should statements. Doesn't have to be lengthy. Good. All right, now read the first I should statement and ask yourself this question. Why? Why should I do XYZ that you filled in? Why? And make a short note. Now read the second I should answer that you wrote down and say, why? Why should I do this? And write down that reason. Now the third, ask why. Write down your answer. And the fourth, beginning with I should, ask why. Jot down your answer. And the fifth, I should, ask why, and answer. Good. Take a moment to look at what you have on your paper. Your answers are both interesting and revealing. What might they reveal to you? Speaking strictly for myself, when I do this exercise, my answers reveal to me where I am stuck in old beliefs and in what I think my limitations are. I am restricted by a mental box that says where I was wrong in the past, or where I'm wrong in the present, or where I will be wrong in the future. The I should leaves me only one option. It locks me in. Each one of the 5 is an old belief about myself and my life that locks me in for all time, and it is based on past perceptions and misperceptions of 2 other people, my mom and my dad. Let's be very clear. The I should locks you into one option only. For example, it would dictate to you by having you believe, I can only experience my heart's deepest wish with this one specific person and no other, or only in this one specific location, or only in this one specific lifestyle or culture or manner. In fact, it restricts you even worse than that, because it will have you thinking, if I don't do that, I should just right. If I don't get it right, then there is no hope for me of fulfillment or salvation or happiness, or you fill in the terrible outcome feared for yourself. What to do? What about free will, the gift human beings have been given? If we introduce free will into the equation, let's see what happens to the I should. Well, it changes this choking and restrictive thought to I could. And this creates a free will breathing space for you to consider more than one option and different options, many. Now let us return to the list with pencil in hand. Preface each of the 5 sentences with, if I wanted to, I could. So your first I should statement, you're going to put in front of that, you're going to cross out the I should, you're going to write, if I wanted to, I could, and then let the rest of the sentence go as it was. Now write down benevolent, cool options that you have in these statements. That you have because you are in them and not something or someone outside of yourself. Take a moment. I could, if I wanted to, I could. And do this for all 5 statements. we will take a moment. All right, we are almost there now. Ask yourself, and gently, we are not interested in guilt. Ask yourself for each statement and be truthful. Ask the following question. If this opens such creative options to me, why haven't I done this before? A one-word answer will do for each. And lastly, finally, because in your life you have been led to this particular moment and situation in your life, and this present moment right now is your place of free will and power. This moment is your point of power. For each one of these 5 self-discovery areas, say, I, and then say your name as it is on your birth certificate. I am. And my plan is, and I'll make a plan that is right for you for each one of these 5 items. Make a plan, a good plan for you. In a few words, do that now. And take your time, no need to hurry, because it is your life you are planning. All right, so now we can get creative and play. Let's do that. Your mother and father modeled the first ways of being in life to you. They did this in the main areas of life, in their work, in their relationships, their recreation, and their devotion. And for each of these 4, they expressed themselves physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, somehow. And maybe they achieved a balance in some or many or all areas, or maybe they did not. Their life, their responsibility, not yours, not mine. Their gift to you was that they went first and showed you 8 major areas of their lives. What can you do with this tremendous complexity, this richness, this grid of information, which contains two parents, times 4 categories, times 4, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, times the number of seconds, times the number of minutes, times the number of days, times the number of years you spent with your parents in the past and present. Oh. This is a rich platform, which you can use as a springboard to launch yourself to new beginnings of your choice by taking all of their aspects shown and combining them creatively, which means consciously. We could also say that you are weaving and blending their aspects with your uniqueness into completely new purposes for yourself. Then you are free to live your own story fully. Now we will go through an exercise and use a format for determining your parental platform, which you can blend with your uniqueness to create your purpose or purposes. Please answer each of the following questions. Again, have a paper and pencil at hand. All right. In your growing up years, were there a mom and a dad? What was Dad's job? What was Mom's job, if she had one outside of the home? What were Dad's hobbies? What were Mom's hobbies? Was there a house or apartment or room, a place where you lived? Was there a garden? Were there animals? Cooking. Who did the cooking? And was it edible? Siblings. Were there brothers and sisters? What about music? Was there music in the home life? And when you played with friends, did they come over to your house or did you go to their house? When there was injury or sickness, what was the healing method? Was it traditional medical care or home care? Or alternative healing care? Was there religion in the home? Was there spirituality? Were there vacations? And if so, did you go to destinations or did you go visit family members, relatives? Would you say the family was functional or dysfunctional? Pick one. Based on your information and combining Mom's and Dad's elements and aspects and everything that we just talked about, listed, what beginnings could you explore and make happen for yourself? So let me give an example that might get you started. Let's say Dad's job was to be a pilot instructor, teaching people how to fly, and Mom's hobby was to sew clothes for her children. Or vice versa, it doesn't matter. If you like to learn, if that's your unique thing, then combining mom's hobby and dad's job could give you the purpose of being a creative writing teacher, where you teach kids or adults how to fly with their minds, how to put the words together in a way that is uplifting. You could be a teacher. All right, now it's your turn to write some combinations of your own, and above all, to get very imaginative and have fun with this. Don't restrict yourself. We'll take a pause so you can do this. Write one or several creative combinations for yourself that have your uniqueness in them. Of course, you could also simply ask, as I am right now, what am I doing when I am happy, when I'm most fulfilled? What is the activity? And how could I creatively expand to do what makes me most happy every day in all 8 areas of my life, and to make this my way of life? Just write down a word or two. So now that you have written what activity in your life makes you most happy, now you can take the format of the parental platform, all those questions and answers, and what makes you most happy, just that 1 or 2 words, and you can put it right now into your blender, into your being. And that is your purpose of purposes as you put it all together in you. You don't even have to spell it out. You can just sense it or feel it. Or just know it's done. The blending is done. To leave your unique legacy and gift to the world. Your purpose now is to do this fulfilling activity in such a way that everybody you are with wins. You as well, of course. With nobody left out. That way it is a clean win-win. In this manner, you are a living legacy, a walking, talking legacy. You showing up in your life and expressing your unique choices and way of being. That is your legacy and gift to yourself and to your world. Now last, let's have a moment of truth. The mirror. This one was loaned to me by a child. It has 2 hearts on the handle, here on the bottom, a pink and a blue. Let's call those Mom and Dad. Then there's a mirror, and then 1 green heart above the mirror, leading to a crown of 3 prongs. Let's call that you and Mom and Dad, just for fun. All right. Now let's look at ourselves as we are in this moment. Your face being a symbol for you, for who you are. Your face is unique. Mine too. You will need to pause this podcast and find a mirror. Any mirror will do. All right, this is the mirror exercise. Look in the mirror. Look into your eyes. Think your full name as it is on your birth certificate. And say, I love and accept you just the way you are. I wish you well on your magnificent journey of self-discovery and self-expression. Now take a deep breath and an even deeper breath again. More slowly think your name and say, thank you, Mom. Breathe easy. Thank you, Dad. Nice and easy breathing in your rhythm. And now, thank you, self. Take a deep sigh and say, of the three of us, Mom, Dad, and me, I am taking the lead forward now, and that is my gift to you. Set your mirror down and relax for a moment. This ends our exercise. If you view yourself as a religious person, you could add, as you do this mirror exercise, I am made in the image of God. Because I was given the gift of free will, I am free to accept myself as a child of God. And then repeat the exercise with this understanding of yourself. If you view yourself as a spiritual person, you could add, I see the light in my eyes. the very windows of my soul, and in them I see the divine intent in and throughout all things, also in me. I am free to love and be myself. And then repeat the exercise with this understanding of yourself. If you have no preconceived idea about yourself, know that you have already completed the exercise with the mirror. We are living in intensity in these times. Whichever of the three above is most right for you, you are welcome to try it out, try it on, and see where it takes you. At this time of intensifying polarities on our earth, a word of caution that you might want to consider is this. Already at the age of 4 to 5 years old, you have a handle on things as being positive or negative, and you put this like or dislike in your mental filing box for parents, mom, dad. This has implications. Here you are many years later and you find yourself disliking or even detesting someone. And you take sides just as you did early on in life with your parents. You preferred one parent over the other. Doesn't matter the reason. What is behind that for you in your life right now? Consider. The people you don't like might resemble the parent you did not take sides with, that you did not prefer, or give all your energy to, your attention, your time. How to avoid choosing sides? The easiest way is to not place blame, or at least to be aware that you might do so. And then from this awareness, make a choice that is right for you, that will not damage your integrity and reputation with yourself. All right. This has been quite an inner workout, and now it is time to relax together with poetry from Pluhari's piece, Waves of Grace, which I published in 2020. The poem selection speaks to beginnings. The title of each poem will be given at the end, so you can enjoy your exploration freely, without preconceived notions or labeling. I will read all of them through a first time without comment or question. Here's the first poem. The light is dark. The light is clear. Dusk and dawn. In my spirit, I am my own end and beginning. Dusk and Dawn is the title. Here is poem 2. Yes, I am beginning to talk to my soul. It is telling me everything I need to know about being myself. It is showing me how to build my future in spirit. Future is the title. And now poem 3. Once you light a fire, you must tend it. Once you begin your journey home to God, you must stay awake, aware, vigilant. And the last poem. Gold is the sun, silver the moon. A poem is the timing of transformation. Copper was its beginning, and different kinds of earth. Alchemy. That was the title. All right, that was our first reading. Was there a poem that stood out to you that could be helpful for you to shift your beginnings with parents completely to you? That would help you let go of should, I shoulds, and old beliefs by which you box yourself in. To let go of what are by now self-imposed holdovers and to move forward on your journey. I will do a second leisurely reading. Choose the poem that is helpful and that you enjoy most. The light is dark, the light is clear. Dusk and dawn. In my spirit, I am my own end and beginning. Dusk and dawn. Here is poem 2. Yes, I am beginning to talk to my soul. It is telling me everything I need to know about being myself. It is showing me how to build my future in spirit. Future. Third poem. Once you light a fire, you must tend it. Once you begin your journey home to God, you must stay awake, aware, vigilant. And the last poem. Gold is the sun, silver the moon. A poem is the timing of transformation. Copper was its beginning, and different kinds of earth. Alchemy. Well, this concludes our meditations and poetry. Maybe one of the poems really spoke to you for you to make your new beginnings. Thank you for participating. By speaking about beginnings and reading poetry, I am not telling you or anyone else how you should think or feel. I'm not here to convince you or another person of a position. Quite the opposite. I'm here to invite you to consider. I am not pretending to be a counselor or a doctor. If because of what you experienced in your beginnings in your life thus far, if you are hurting or in distress, please seek professional help as soon as possible. Give yourself this gift to honor the gift that you are to yourself and others. Be self-responsible and do not procrastinate. I so enjoy sharing this with you. And thank you for being in Pluhari's Peace today with me. This was what I looked forward to with excitement and joy because, like for you, this is a time of new beginnings for me. As you move through your day, put something in it that is truly a new beginning for you, that brings you joy, and love will be in it, of course. Something that honors who you are. Now our time together has come to an end. Travel easy, my friend. Live with love. Live in spirit.